How you going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be back working on the Jeep Grand Cherokee, repairing the bushes in the lower control arms. First of all, what we'll do is we'll get the car up in the air, get the tools out, and then we'll start to get the job done. Right, so we need to take out this bolt here and this bolt here. Drop that nut and bolt in there, and then this wishbone, this lower control arm should drop down, and then that should allow us to start to remove this rubber bush here. So first of all, give everything a clean. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark all these bolts here so that everything goes back in the same position. Now obviously I'll need to get the wheel alignment done, but for the moment, as long as I get it back into the rough sort of area where it was before, it shouldn't damage the tyres until I get the tracking done. Now we'll move on to the left-hand side of the vehicle. Same again, just remove the plate here at the side, then the bolt on the wishbone, the vertical and the horizontal bolt. Loosen off the suspension strut bolt, and then loosen off the front wishbone bolt there. Okay, let's do that now. What I'm doing now is I'm just setting up a come along system here, which I've strapped onto the lower control arm. And all I'll do now is I'll just put a bit of tension on that, and then that should hopefully pull the lower control arm down a bit to allow me access to remove the bush. What I'll do is I'll drill this out all around the rubber bush here. Any remaining rubber that's still inside the bush, I'll remove that with the hammer and chisel. Pull this off, and then again, use the angle grinder, remove the sleeve, clean everything up, and then get the new bush on. And it's just a case of drilling round about the bush, working in a circular manner until you get most of the rubber away, and then just use the chisel. Yeah, this really does take a bit of time. You really do need to persevere. Keep drilling the holes, and then use the hammer and chisel or a sharp knife if you have one, and keep working around the rubber bush, and eventually it will come off. It might also help if you swear at it. And all I'm doing here is just simply cutting the outer sleeve with the angle grinder. And then it's just a case of splitting apart the sleeve and then sliding it off the shaft.
2,000 years later.
And what I'm going to do now is just go around the shaft with some emery paper, just to get rid of the rough edges and make it a lot easier for the new bush to slide onto the shaft. Right, so what I'm going to do now is install some of this dry lube onto the shaft prior to installing the bush housing. It will just make things a little bit easier. Right, so what I'll do now is I'll just compare the new bush to the old bush. And you just want to make sure that either says right for right hand side bush or left for left hand side bush. And if we just compare both of them, as you can see, they are the exact same. Okay, so yep, we should be all good to go. So that's the rear, that's the front. So what I'll do is I'll put a little bit of dry grease on here just to help this slide on, and then obviously what I'll need to do is I'll need to hit it here, not here. So I'll need to hit it here in order for it to slide on. And as I say, that line that I made on the wishbone, I made a line across, that's just got to line up with these two indentations here. Okay, so we'll do that now. So what I do is I line everything up, make sure everything's square, give it a few hits with the heavy hammer, and then what I do is I use a socket. So I've got a 27mm socket with a 22mm socket inside with some tape round about it, and that acts as a punch. So all I'm doing here is continuing to hit with the hammer and the punch, and every now and again I'll remove the punch and check to see how far along the shaft it is. And that's it in. Now it's just a case of putting everything back together. And all I'm doing now is going round all the nuts and bolts and tightening them up to the specified torque. And here is a list of the torque settings. And there you go guys, that's both lower control arm bushes complete. Right, now what I'll do is I'll get the car back down onto the ground, and then I'll take it for a drive and see how everything is. And that's it guys, thanks very much for watching, take care.